G'day legends, Atron here and welcome to HBM AH where I've completed it on my main account. So we'll be going through a little bit more in depth of what made it tick, what didn't make it tick, and the final team and base setup, which I did change compared to what you're looking at here, to make that made everything fall into place. So there was just a couple of clips of how I failed a bunch of times, and I think one of the keys to that, I was still running Dovekeeper, and I did keep the same team. So I was using Sasquatch, Dovekeeper, Skelly, Anubis, Gunslinger, and Waller. I think that's one of the standard teams, but I got caught a couple of times, as you can see here, with the Goblin on the side because of the Empower Dovekeeper. If it wasn't Empower, that he would have walked in, which you'll see a direct comparison in the last clip here. So another time, I think I was over 70 tries, I think, that I tried to do this, and some of them were all the bases getting destroyed or all the buildings getting destroyed. That happened a lot, especially on wave 1 against Ronins, and then the other one was I would have Skelly and Dovekeeper left as the only one, and I just couldn't keep enough DPS with my Dovekeeper and keep her alive at the same time. So what I ended up doing was, because she was going to be left, I just wanted to stop that Goblin procking so much. So I ended up using Empower on Waller, Anubis, Skelly, and I think only Dovekeeper and Gunslinger didn't have Empower. I was really lucky. I rolled the Hero Collector. I think I rolled Dove, and then recently I rolled Serena on the Hero Collector event for 450 gems, so that was a bit of fun. But yeah, just going through all of these images available on the Facebook page as well, guys. I think they're already up there, to be honest, so this one will be there. The only image that isn't, that I will add up, is this next one here. So this is just the position of where I kept all of my heroes in the base. To be honest, I didn't really think about this. I think I just changed the base, and that's where they were all sitting at the time. But my end thing that did it for me is Dovekeeper had the 5 life drain crest on, so that was still from Deflect Archdemon, which I'll link that if you haven't seen there. That's the rank 1 Archdemon score, so where I utilized pretty much the same Dovekeeper, and I've put her into this HBM AH setup. So the utility of keeping her alive was all from the life drain crests, and I simply relied on her putting her in eye, so she would stop the Goblin procking so much at the end, as well as the Owl Pet, so to also stop him procking, and so I could focus on essentially just hitting him. I'm pretty sure he debuffs and does huge damage. I didn't see many stuns going on. What this base setup here does, I was having a lot of issues with that side corner base, the first ones where you see in the middle. So there was a lot of open space, and that Ronin was, if he got procced on the edge, he wouldn't have to walk very far, and I think he comes with like 5 Vite, that Ronin, so he would just go in charging, and he would mince most of the base at the same time. What this base setup, as soon as I changed to this base setup, I passed it the first time. Probably a little bit of RNG godness going on there as well. But it definitely made the first couple of waves way more, way more easy to deal with. Like, it was just, it had 3 different slots, so like you got the left and the right and then the north, like 3 different sections. So if you were lucky, you could have a couple of them alive towards the other waves or towards the end. So, and obviously when the Sasquatch comes through, it destroys half the wall, but the little spikes at the end really helped the heroes walk around just that little bit extra. We're at wave 4 now, and we've got that 1 hero base left. So, RNG, all of the waves are procking on from there. We've got double wave in the corner and then a single wave there. And what you didn't see is Anubis would have procced pretty much immediately after they spawned, because there was no troops going on. Now, another big thing to note, do not use Empower on Dovekeeper, because a lot of them are auto proc. So you've got a lot of heroes that are going in and are making the Dovekeeper proc, and what it does is it stops all the waves, as you saw there. It stops the waves going in, and now the Dove Keeper, 12 seconds has passed and that dove is dead. And so he is able to walk in, and it's not until everyone else gets close by that everyone can attack him then. So I did have a couple of people say Empower Dove Keeper was imperative to their success. I would like to go on the 70 runs I was doing. I did have Empower on Dove, and a couple of things were happening, like, you saw at the very start that failed clip where it was on the side. So just a couple of things that it was too hard to deal with. So rely more on the fact that Dove Keeper will proc her doves on most waves, just from Little Nick generally procking, and other heroes procking on her. She's going to spawn 1 or 2 doves in that time, which will give you that little bit of a protection, so they don't all run into the base. They can all burn their 5 Vite talents, or they can all burn at least a little bit of talent, so long as you can stay alive. And I'm actually super lucky, because there's no way I would have passed this without Gunslinger simply, procking in the background there. So we're at, what, 10 seconds to go, I think, under 10 seconds. So it was, it was not as smooth as something to go by, but it's, sharing my setup. That's what worked for me, keeping the Dove Keeper alive and working on, that finishing wave and dealing with the goblin. So I think a 12 or 12 Sasquatch would definitely help as well, doing that perma-freeze, but, all fun and games. Anyway, don't forget to click those links in the description, guys. As always, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.